So you guys are by far the most interception-prone team in this league. What's happening?
Again, like I mentioned last week, I think there's a lot that goes into every interception. I also think, sometimes we got to give credit to the defense. I think those last 2 picks we threw were pretty solid instinctual plays, personally.
Out of all the things going into them, what are the kind of top 2 priorities you got to change or get better at?
I think just keep talking about it, understanding it's everybody's hopes and dreams, and the severity behind throwing interceptions and giving away points. We just can't give them any life, really. Take those points away. We give ourselves that much more chances every week.
Based on the difference between Chris and Zach as passers, how does that affect your game plan and play calling?
Again, I think I answered the same question last week. I think that the playbook opens up with Strev in there because he's got the running ability, which I think the whole league knows by now. So, yeah.
Given their passing, how would you compare their passing abilities?
I think they're both different. I think Zach can do things that Strev can't, and Strev can do things that Zach can't. So
even as a passer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
What's it been like getting used to life as a OC? It feels like, after the quarterback, that could be the most criticized job in pro sports. So just what's it been like for you just getting kind of used to that at the pro level, I guess?
Humbling, humbling. Every week you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about, the league and defenses and how to game plan and what steps to take and what mistakes not to, make again. And so it's humbling. It's an awesome experience.
How has Jarius Jackson helped you? He's a guy who's obviously, he's played, called the plays in this league for a long time before.
Yeah, like I said, from day one, he's been extremely helpful. We're on the cans, we're on the headset talking, pretty much every drive and in between drives. What do we like? What are we seeing? What are the quarterbacks talking about? Because I'm up there, so I'm not necessarily talking to them other than being in their earpiece. So it's more so being on the same page as them and seeing what they're seeing as well. With his experience, especially in the pass game, and I think that could allow me to spend more time in the run game, and we just combine our ideas.
We were asking Brady yesterday about Chris and his play and the criticism that he's being hit with, basically. And he's saying, I feel that we could be put in better positions as players so that, that it's just not always us players getting blamed for, these losses and shortcomings and whatever. Just what are your thoughts on that, him saying that we feel like we could be put in better positions?
Yeah, I think he's doing what any great teammate would do is have his guys back. And as coaches, that's our job, right? The reality is it's our job to put them in the better situations week in and week out. No doubt about it.
How you
You
feel?
said a minute ago that you learned some stuff about yourself. What have you learned?
I want it done yesterday, not patient enough. Just like I think everybody, Bomber fans, league, everybody included, we all want it done today. We all want to win. We don't want to throw interceptions. All those things are understandable. I'm just as human as everybody watching the game, right? So just understand it's going to take some time. Sometimes I'm going to make mistakes. I just got to learn from them, not repeat them.
As an offense, you want to be, as a team, you want to be nearing your peak now this time of year. Where do you think you are as an offense as far as ups and downs?
Again, I think we've been pretty good at moving the ball, week in and week out. We got to find a way to get in the end zone. We got to capitalize. We can't give our defense the ball in the other team's, plus territory. So those 2 things are the main 2 factors we got to hone in on and key in on for the next couple of weeks.
As you evaluate the offense, how much do you take away from those final couple drives in the last 3 minutes?
I'm sorry, meaning?
How much do you take away from those final couple of drives? You guys had it was under 3 minutes. You had 2 solid drives. It ends at the 1 yard line, but you're able to move the ball. How much do you take away from those?
I appreciate the fact that the guys week in and week out, it's the same thing. Whether we're down or not, we just keep, battling, strapping up, getting back in there, and getting to it. So that's for any coach, that's amazing. Just be able to sit back there and watch them in the last 9 seconds. Not just crumble, so to speak, and just put some drives together. So yeah.
At the same time, do you realize the defense is playing any differently, and it's not worth as much then as in
their defense?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're trying to let us score.
No.
I think they're, they played some softer defenses, some different zone coverages, right? Because it's the end of the game, so I think it's a little different on the back end. But
Sure.
other than that, they still pass rush, try and force, turnovers, that sort of stuff.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks.